Cherokee County Sheriff David Groves briefed the media this morning on the progress that was made overnight in assessing this damage. He said a total of 100 homes were damaged or destroyed from this twister in a 2-mile radius of the town, including a 2-specific block area. No matter what type of vehicle you operate on the roadway, it's important to remember your basic driver's ed rules. First, look to your left, then look to your right, and back to your left again before pulling into oncoming traffic. Whether it's something you found in your junk drawer or something that you put in a frame to last forever, photos are a sense of healing for these people, a memory that tells a story that no one else can share. Now, David Groves does also say that the one fatality that was reported from the EMS officials has been ruled as a medical death, not as a direct result of the tornado. So as of right now, it does stand that no fatalities have been reported from this tornado, but 9 people have been transported to local hospitals. So the next phase for the community is to begin picking up the pieces. As you can see behind me here, progress is already being made with that. But we also want to make a note that school officials for the Baxter Springs School District have canceled classes again for Tuesday. Reporting in Baxter Springs, Kelly Reid, KOAM News. Many homeowners we spoke with say insurance is a priority. So when a tornado like this does happen and your home has so much damage where it can't even be lived in, you are prepared.
Kelly Reid joins us live now from Range Line with an update on the roads.
Yeah, Dow, just as you and Doug said, the roads here they're getting a little dicey in spots. You can tell here on 7th and Range Line, the snow has picked up in the last hour that we've been here. Dow, the memorial service for Coach Derek Moore just wrapped up a few moments ago, and we can tell you from being in there that there was a slew of emotions running through this service. Now the cleanup will continue throughout the evening, and assistance is still available for anyone who might be needing it. You can contact either the Baxter Springs Police Department or the American Red Cross is also on scene here in Baxter Springs. Also, power crews are still out in full force trying to restore the power here. As of late afternoon, Empire officials tell us about 1,300 people remain without power in the Quapaw and Baxter Springs area. In the meantime, Baxter Springs School District has also canceled all school activities and classes for Tuesday. In Baxter Springs, Kelly Reid, KOAM News.
Arrest this evening comes after an hours-long manhunt in Independence, Kansas. KOAM's Kelly Reid was there.
It was reported to Montgomery County sheriffs that Bennett may be spotted in the Independence area, which led them to this Dollar General store along Main Street around 12:45 this afternoon. That's when additional authorities arrived on scene to continue their search. Shortly after 3:30, while we were on scene, all crews were dispatched to this Walmart location a few blocks south for another reported sighting. Authorities blocked all entrances to the store and searched every vehicle before they were allowed to leave. After a short time, the Walmart returned to its normal activity with no arrests made. Crews traveled back to the Dollar General store to regroup, and additional authorities, including Labette County, Coffeyville, and Parsons Police, all arrived to assist in the manhunt. Around 6:30 p.m., crews moved to another secure location, and the manhunt for this suspect continued. Again, Montgomery County, Kansas authorities confirmed that Bennett was arrested this evening. No word on what charges he will face.
It's a bit of comfort, at least for the community, to know that a suspect is in custody tonight. Yes. Kelly Reid in the newsroom. Thanks, Kelly. KOAM's Kelly Reid joins us from the newsroom now with more.
Dow, when teenagers hit the age of 18, a world of opportunities open to them. For 18-year-olds living in foster care, it can be stressful thinking where to go next. But now with the new legislation, they can breathe a sigh of relief.
KOAM's Kelly Reid joins us from the newsroom now with more.
Dow, Crawford County is a busy district for court cases, which is why they have a Pittsburgh Center and a Girard Center. But with renovations coming to the Girard Center, officials had no other choice than to come up with alternative plans.
KOAM's Kelly Reid joins us from the newsroom now with more.
The Special Supplemental Nutrition Program for Women, Infants, and Children, which is otherwise known as WIC, is still operating in Crawford County. But with funds quickly running out, many are asking just how long this program can hold out. Now, Dow, as I was watching Justin's demonstration, you could see exactly how hard he was swimming against the creek and the current. And as the rain continues, it's best to probably just stay off the roads. That's their best advice to everyone.
We always hear it. Those floodwaters can be misleading, and you don't know what's just under the surface. It could drag you along.
Exactly.
You just have to be careful. Thanks. Kelly Reid.
The Hollywood Theaters has refused to comment, but one employee that was showing up to work this morning did confirm with us that the movie theater does plan on remaining open and operating on its usual schedule. It's not that traditional walk down the aisle that most brides envision on their wedding day, but our bride says she's just fine with that, meeting her husband here on home plate. When it comes to larceny, the Carthage Police Department say it's all too common. Unlocked cars, meaning that a thief could walk right up to your car and steal anything valuable that you have inside, such as insurance cards or personal items. So when it comes to keeping your things safe, the Carthage Police Department recommends one thing: always keep your car locked. You typically see them marching down the fields of football games, but now you'll see them marching down the streets of Chicago. I'm Kelly Reid, and I'll explain up next. What makes this CPR team so unique is that each of the 4 officers come from a different division within the Joplin Police Department. So they all work together collaboratively to find which area of crime prevention needs targeted the most.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
2 people are dead after a 2-car crash on 69 Highway in Cherokee County Friday evening. This is KOAM News at 6. I'm Kelly Reid. The accident occurred just before 10 p.m. Friday, just south of Bellevue Road. And just a couple hours later, Missouri Highway Patrol reported a fatal vehicle accident along I-44. The accident occurred eastbound at mile marker 21 when a 2002 Ford Explorer driven by 25-year-old James Grimes swerved to the left, striking a 2008 Ford Escape driven by 29-year-old Lonnie Tinker. Imagine waking up finding your most prized possession gone. That's what happened when Olympic track star medalist Angelo Taylor learned 3 of his Olympic gold medals were stolen after someone broke into his SUV. Katie Brace reports. 2 things that women love: wine and shoes. Things that usually cost money are actually helping to raise money. Crews at Hillside Lake in Kansas say they are no longer in rescue mission mode, but are now focusing on recovering the body of a father who went overboard and hasn't been seen since. Water rescue teams responded immediately when they got the call around 3:35 this afternoon about 2 distressed children stranded on a boat. Now we're going to send it back to meteorologist Nick Kelly, who I hope has been working on his rain dance over there. Nick, what's our final forecast look like?
I don't have the dance moves, but I do have your final check of weather, Kelly.
Well, May is not only a month to remember our fallen war heroes, it's also a time to remember the hard work and dedication of our first responders. Saturday wraps up the 40th year the American College of Emergency Physicians celebrates Emergency Medical Services Week. National EMS Week runs from May 18th to May 24th. This year's theme was Dedicated for Life. The ACEP says the goal of the week-long celebration is to bring together local communities and medical personnel that publicize safety and honor those who provide day-to-day service of medicine's front line.
They do deserve to be honored because they do a lot of hard work.
They do. That's why we featured some of our local EMS there. Thank you guys for all that you do. Well, it may be a little bit like Blazing Saddles in Galena, but it's all in good fun. This group is the Tri-State Gunfighters, and they were taking over Galena Days this afternoon, Western style. Galena Days will be continuing tonight, as well as some other local festivals around the 4 states. We do have them listed on our website for you, in case if you want to go check them out for the rest of the evening.
I was really glad to hear that they weren't shooting at each other with real bullets.
In a life or death situation, time can be critical.
Not all hospitals can offer all services. And what we offer with the flight program is it's critical care transport from bedside to bedside. You know, we're able to take and maintain the care that's being provided in the hospital, transfer the patient to the aircraft, and take them to the next place.
A subsidiary of Air Methods, MedFlight has been providing emergency trauma care for patients in the 4-state area for more than 20 years.
The way that we help the most is by getting those, sick people who need those specialized different kind of care, maybe far away. Really helps out. You can make the trip a lot shorter, get them to where they need to be a lot quicker.
MedFlight Director Rod Pace says his crew can shave 50 to 70% off of on-the-ground travel time by transporting patients through the air.
It's quicker transport. We continue what the ground services and what the outlying hospitals have started. We continue the care, we advance the care to the protocols, and we deliver them just in a faster, quicker fashion.
Anything that they would do on the ground in the ambulance or in the emergency room, those same kind of scenarios and responsibilities are what I try to accomplish just in the air.
And those responsibilities of keeping a patient alive are all in a day's work for the MedFlight crew.
As soon as we're on scene, normally we have some kind of idea where we're going to start, and the nurse and the medic, we work well enough together we kind of read each other's thoughts.
After moving from its former helipad at Mercy Hospital, MedFlight is now located at the Joplin Regional Airport. Along with a location change, MedFlight also has a new helicopter equipped with digital moving map display, real-time weather, and terrain and aircraft avoidance. The technology is far more advanced than most ground ambulance services, but the process remains the same.
You try to be very slow, very methodical, train yourself to go through a mental checklist of things you're looking for in the aircraft, of things you're looking for outside, so that you can safely and effectively take the crew to the patient, pick up the patient, and bring them back to get care. That's what our job is.
When lives are on the line, there's no limit in the sky. In Joplin, Kelly Reid, KOAM News. It was early in the morning when Coulter and a friend were driving on the rural roads in Pittsburgh. He says he doesn't remember all the details, but when the car went off the road into a creek, he managed to get out of the car and began walking.
He walked about a quarter of a mile to the house behind me here, and when he couldn't walk anymore, he began to crawl.
And I start remembering me having to use my knees and start crawling. Then my hands gave out, so I just kept using my elbows. And then just spots of banging on a door. That's really all I remember.
When ambulances arrived at this house on 4th Street in Pittsburgh, Coulter's body temperature was a mere 72 degrees.
Damn, I'm alive. They took me in all really quickly, evidently, because I was almost dead, they said. I'm not going to die, though. It's not my time to die.
He was rushed to KU Medical Center where his lower legs and right hand were amputated.
They were taking me in to get my hand gone. Is when they told me, and I said, well, am I going to keep my left hand? They're like, yeah, you're going to keep that. And I was like, well, what's the problem then? Cut it off. I mean, it was bothering to my body, so it had to be cut off.
Doctors with Freeman Health System who specialize in amputation and physical rehab say Coulter's case is extremely rare.
Hypothermia-related amputations, if they happen, I think they are, you probably could count them. And for somebody who has who normally goes through amputations is usually one limb, like one or two, and with hypothermia you're really losing your distal extremities, which is very unfortunate.
After being placed on a warming machine and ventilators for nearly 3 weeks, Coulter awoke, barely able to remember what happened the night he nearly died.
Honestly, I didn't know. I didn't know what was going on. I mean, at first I didn't remember it. I had some short-term memory loss there, but at first I didn't remember, but spots kept coming back of what happened later down the line. My memory is starting to come back a little bit.
It was weeks before his body was able to hold its own body temperature. Soon after that, Coulter's muscles were strong enough to begin physical therapy.
I did it for a while in therapy, and then I started getting weights in here and stuff like that, and I've been doing it by myself for a while.
Now, 4 months later, Coulter has been given a gift, the ability to stand on his own 2 feet.
And they totally reconstructed it for my leg and for my knee to fit perfectly in there and not make it hurt, basically.
While he's still getting used to his new legs, he says the whole process is a step in the right direction.
I can do things again. I feel like an actual person more now, It's cool. I like it, and I think I'll keep it.
Full of smiles and positive thoughts, Coulter Steffens is grateful for the small things in life.
I'm happy. I'm happy. I'm like a little kid again. It's fun. There's like another toy I get to play with or something.
Other than being 2 inches shorter than he was, Coulter says he loves his new legs and is looking forward to what's ahead. He is currently finishing up a week in inpatient rehab in Kansas City, but just like any other young adult, Coulter has dreams, and one of those includes running a race.